Okay, let me explain further details of realism because I'm focusing on realism rather than idealism. Because of this, if we look at some trend of philosophy of Western academic society, this is the present, and this is World War II. Before World War II, idealism was a prominent paradigm of Western philosophy. During this period, many people believed in the equality of the people and equality of the European countries in European Federation. But they could not prevent World War I and World War II, homicide of the European civilization. So after World War II, realism became a prominent paradigm in analyzing any political discourse in the academic society. These days, all the people are talking about realism. And we don't think that people are born equally. And also, we don't think that all the countries are equal. Because we all have tendency to think realism or realistic interpretation of international relations. There are three assumptions in realism. The first, state as actor. State is the actor. There could be many actors in international relations. State or international organizations, WTO, ILO, OECD, or subnational entities, bureaucracies, political parties, labor organizations, and international interest groups or individuals. But in the realm of realism, state is considered the most important actor in international relations because the government sets the rules, structuring how its citizens and organizations interact with each other all over the world. It is the state sets the rules or control the rules and govern the other things. Among other international actors, state is the most important actor. And people's actions or organizations through the diplomacy, trade, or working abroad, for example. In any field of international activities, state plays the most important role. Second, the utility of military force. Even in the nuclear age, realists believe that military force is a very useful tool in realizing political goals. Probably conventional weapons could be used in order to solve the national conflicts. With the conventional weapons, I mean the rifles, cannons, and tanks, and the aircrafts. But what about the nuclear weapons? What about nuclear weapons? Can we use nuclear weapons in national conflicts? It's a very difficult question to answer. Before I answer that question, let's think about the pacifists' claim that nuclear weapons are totally different from conventional weapons. So they cannot be used in any case of national conflicts. By Bertrand Russell and Reinhold Niebuhr. These are the two prominent pacifists in the world. They said nuclear weapons must not be used in national conflicts. But realists said that military force is still a useful tool. They don't talk about nuclear weapons. So conventional weapons could be used anytime they want to. So in case of contingencies, can nuclear weapons be applicable? It's a very difficult question to answer. Most of politicians argue that nuclear weapons are the same as traditional weapons, conventional weapons. Nuclear bombs are the same as the bombs. So they could be used in national conflicts. Many politicians make this claim. But pacifists said no. They are totally different weapons. So what do you think? Do you think we can apply nuclear weapons in our conflicts with other states? If you are a pacifist, the answer could be no. Or if you are a politician, the answer could be yes. Okay, third principle of anarchy is the realism is the distinction between high and low politics. What's high politics? High politics means a national security or strategy for survival. So high politics deals with national strategy for survival. So it is a vital interest, survival. And low politics deals with economic policies and social policies. So always high politics dominates low politics. National security first. Do you agree? When the national security policies are in conflict with economic policies, which policies do you prefer to be implemented first? National security policy or economic policy? If you are a realist, your answer must be the high politics. National security policy must have priority. If you are an idealist, answer should be no. Okay, I introduced the three principles of realism. But now, let me criticize those assumptions one by one. First, principle, the state as actor model. With the development of technologies in communication and transportation, there are multiple channels in international relations. There are many actors in international relations besides the nation state. First, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, NGOs. Could be the United Nations or the ILO, International Labour Organization, or UNESCO, or the Olympic Committee, IOC, or some other non-governmental organizations are playing many important roles in the contemporary international relations. NGOs. And the significance of the NGOs and also their roles in the present world are getting more important. And also the frequency of the contacts between NGOs and governments are much more than contacts between the governments. NGOs. So NGOs could be a very important actor in international relations. Second example could be MNCs, multinational corporations. For example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a best example in multinational corporations. The headquarters of multinational corporations are located in advanced countries, mostly these days in America, in Japan, and Germany, and France. And they have their companies in all over the world. And they are doing the economic activities in all over the world. They are making profits out of it and send their profits to their headquarters. Then MNC is not a country. MNC does not have any people or sovereignty or any other organizations. But whenever an MNC has negotiations with a third country, it dominates the dealings and negotiations. It's over the nation state. So there's a saying that the countries with Coca-Cola never had a war against each other. We have Coca-Colas, and currently China has Coca-Colas. And that means that the US will not have any war against China? I don't know. MNCs. And certainly some other individuals, high figures. Also, they are a very important actor in international relations. So with the development of technologies in communication and transportation, there are multiple channels other than the nation state. Second assumption, the critique of some second assumption is that the military power has the utility, but in that case, nuclear war is unthinkable because it might lead to the annihilation of humankind. Annihilation means total extinction of humankind. If the nuclear war breaks out, the nuclear winter might visit us. Nuclear winter might visit us. If so, global scale nuclear war happens, and then the fires and fumes cover all of the globe world, and ashes and smokes will go up to the atmosphere, and these will make a cover, clouds in atmosphere, and sunlight could not come through, and the temperature of the earth will drop rapidly. Without sunlight, all the grasses and trees will die. And what happens next? Grass-eating animals will die, and later, carnivore animals, animal-eating animals will die. Obviously, the temperature will be precipitating rapidly. In other words, a small scale of ice age will visit to the planet Earth. That's the nuclear winter. With a nuclear war in a global scale, we will have an ice age because of the nuclear winter. So using nuclear capability in national conflicts is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. The last one, the distinction between high and low politics. But I don't think it's still valid to differentiate from high politics and low politics. Because from the mid-20th century, the distinction between high and low politics became blurred, smudged, not clear. Because these days, economic policies are very significant for the national strategy, national survival is as same important as the national security strategy. And national security is done not only by soldiers with guns, but also the workers in the field, in construction sites, and automobile industry, and other the sites, you name it. So distinction between high and low politics became blurred. It's hardly to distinguish high politics from a low politics.